What's up, everybody? I mean, I should have rescheduled the I should have rescheduled properly because I realized that I'd rescheduled the live on YouTube, but not on StreamYard. So it's a mess. It's chaotic. I mean, it wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be myself if I was not this chaotic. In any event, I finished work early. Not even that, I just had my time off. My time was off. So I really should have scheduled this for 9 p.m. We're gonna get started because man, we need to cover Diddy. Not even that. Jay-Z. I have an opinion. Obviously, I have an opinion. Um, I don't know if Brooklyn's still in here. Somebody was interested in the, I think his name is Daniel Penny. I think it's Daniel Penny. All right, let's get in here. Okay, now I'm just gonna be rambling. Let's get in here. We're first gonna start off with I guess the state's closing. Let me finish the state's closing because real thing wanted me to touch base on that. Okay, so Brooklyn was interested in the Daniel Penny case. Let's touch man. Daniel Penny, that is so I mentioned yesterday, that is a difficult case for me. There's certain cases that are difficult for me to not just cover, but to follow. And the Daniel Penny trial is one of them. So let's quickly get in here. Obviously, it's come out he has been acquitted. He's acquitted. Let's just find. Let's see. Man, I don't know. Literally, even looking at the cell phone footage, I want to throw up. But let's see. I don't really want to play the CNN stuff. Let's see what Eric what's his name? Let's see what Brooklyn's mayor had to say. Let me share my screen one moment, and then we're going to touch a little bit on what the public defender subreddit has to say. I need to somehow add that to. I'm gonna have to edit to what is this? This MacBook, and
Big news
we'll get
today.
there. We'll get there. Am I sharing the right screen? Let me make sure. Yes, I am. All right. Hope you guys had a fantastic Monday, though. Mine was a little crazy. It's about to get even crazier tomorrow because I have a deadline to meet. But let's get into it.
Big news today. Daniel Penny was found not guilty of the killing of Jordan Neely. I wanted to get your thoughts on that. And then another question. Last week on our morning show.
Oh, yeah, in Brooklyn, the CEO, the perpetrator in the CEO case has been ID'd. He has been identified. He was roaming around a McDonald's, and they're claiming that they have the right person.
Oh, you left the door open seemingly to rejoining the Republican Party. I wanted to know why you didn't say you're a proud Democrat. Do you find issues with your own party?
Dang. Eric Adams is joining the Republicans. Is this
first? As I stated, when this incident first happened with Jordan, that's my son's name, and so these incidents that happen in the city is not only professional, but they're personal.
Okay, so Brooklyn, I want to know what is your sense of the subway? I have my own remarks or my own thoughts about the subway, but New York City subway. What are your thoughts? What's your
And we
stand?
take that with us. This Jordan should not have had to die, and I strongly believe, as I've been stating, probably from day one, we have a mental health system that is broken.
Right.
When you have someone repeatedly going through that system, that's a signature of failure. And we need help in Albany and in the city council. We can't sit back and mourn the loss of someone that is caught up in this system when we're not taking the action every day. But a jury of his peers heard the case, saw all the facts and all the evidence, and made a decision. And I joined DA Braggs in stating that I respect the process.
All right.
And now my second question last week on leaving the door open about joining the Republican Party.
Okay, so he's about to join the Republican Party. I suppose good for him. All right. Okay, so obviously the comments are very different, but I guess this is not a surprising verdict, right? Anybody that has been on New York subways um would understand that. I mean, anywhere in New York City. I think in most major cities you can recognize when the city is in crisis, right? And I'd like to believe that in New York City you'll find it primarily in the subway. I avoid the subway. I don't I don't mess with the subway. I ended up there by not by choice once. I ended up down there once, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm doing this again. But obviously, in a place such as New York City, not a lot of people have private vehicles, and a lot of people rely on the subway to get to work, to get to school, to go about the business, and seek medical help. But I don't know. This is a very disturbing case to me, and I'm one of those people that are very how do I explain it? I guess I'd characterize myself as being more I wanted to say progressive, but that's not the word. Maybe unorthodox. I have unusual ways of thinking. But the case is really disturbing. I think the case is disturbing. Obviously, you respect the jury's verdict, blah blah blah. Uh, I have a hard time reconciling with the footage that a lot of us saw and the verdict that was rendered. I also struggle with the judge dismissing the initial count or the first count, the first charge, when the jury could not reach a verdict. Um, I guess it's not to say that I'm ambivalent. I'm pretty clear of what I'm feeling as far as the verdict is concerned, right? But I'm having a hard time reconciling myself with the outcome of the case. And I mean, this is different in the sense that um, it's not a case that was publicized. I'm sure there's going to be a transcript. There's going to be a transcript that I will read um, once it's out. But I'm struggling with the outcome of this case, and this case I would put in the same category as probably Trayvon Martin. Okay, I mean, obviously the circumstances are different. I'm not comparing them in the sense of the conduct of the accused, but I'm comparing them in the sense of how I feel about the verdict. Okay, so it's a difficult case for me. To talk about, but a verdict is a verdict. Again, we go back to separating factual truth from substantive truth. Again, we saw the video, and we saw Daniel Penny's conduct, and I think a line should have been drawn. I don't think that the victim in this case should have passed. I'm just really struggling. I'm struggling with the verdict. But I don't know. It's a difficult case. Let me see what Brooklyn's saying. He was in Subway. Daniel Penny, a former Marine. Um, the Neil came on the subway and threatened riders. He had 40 priors, and toxically, he was on K2 and fentanyl. Nobody uses. Everybody uses the subway, Brooklyn. Like the only people that don't use the subway, wealthy folks. Charge my phone, boo. Um, Wealthy folks and maybe people that use the bus. Other than that, most people use the subway. If it was not a race issue, Alvin Bragg would have never charged the case. I don't agree with that. He had a pulse when he was in the hospital. Okay, so Brooklyn doesn't use the subway. I know I'm struggling. I'm struggling with this case. I am struggling with a case. I'm struggling with a case. I guess a part of me would put this case in the same category as me objecting to an officer shooting and killing somebody that is wielding a knife or something along those lines. I think there's always a way that you can disarm somebody without taking their life. So this is a really sad case, and it's difficult, at least for me to cover. But let's get into some mess, okay? Let us get into some mess. So what I'm doing tonight. Sorry, I had to mute my my kid was talking about some stuff. All right. So let me share the right screen. Yeah, stop. Let me share the right screen. In Brooklyn, why don't you use the subway? I'd like to know. Why don't you use the subway? All right. So I am recapping states closing because Real Thing wanted my opinion on something. I guess Real Thing might show up at some point and ask a question. So let's get into this, and then we're gonna end off with Diddy. I have an opinion about Diddy. One moment. What happened? Skip past, I'm gonna skip past these because obviously the audio is not that great. I don't know what they're saying. There's no point in trying to decipher all of that if I don't hear what they're saying. All right, let's go to. Come on, Hilton. Oh my goodness. And Real Thing, if you are in here, you saved me. I randomly, when I finished working tonight, I randomly went on to what is this? What's the channel? I randomly ended up on what's the man's name? Dennis channel. And he was talking about, striking people's channels. And I'm like, okay, Real Thing saved me from, trying to start from square one. Anyway, shout out to Real Thing. All right, come on. Let's see.
And I know this is kind of faint, but I'm going to tell you what he says in this call. Let me give you a little background about this call.
Okay.
This is November 19, 2015. This is after his preliminary hearing. Y'all heard about the preliminary hearing, right? And you heard them talk about the fact that a couple things, that they didn't talk about witnesses by name. They said it by witness number one and witness number two.
I'm sorry to hear about that, Brooklyn. And when have anti-Semitic incidents always? I know, I'm trying to think. Would you say they're more prevalent now than they previously were, or you just never used the subway at all?
This is what he says. Fuck D.
Okay.
Fuck them niggas, bro.
That's girl. Hold on, I need to close the door because my kid, I don't want my kid to be listening to Hylton out here because this was chaotic and I love it. This is crazy. This is when she started revving up. Oh, am I charging this? Yeah. No, I probably should not have gone back because I went back too far. I got too excited.
The other little D.
Hold on.
By name. They said it by witness number one and witness number two.
Oh,
this is what he
went back too far. All right, let me let it play out.
And I know this is kind of faint, but I'm going to tell you what he says in this call. Let me give you a little background about this call.
All right.
This is November 19, 2015. This is after his preliminary hearing. Y'all heard about the preliminary hearing, right?
Right.
And you heard them talk about the fact that a couple things, that they didn't talk about witnesses by name.
All right, no problem. No problem, Real Thing. Thanks, Brooklyn.
This is what he says. Fuck D.
That's crazy.
Fuck them niggas, bro. all that fake friend shit.
That's insane.
Fuck nigga. He know what's going on.
That girl
That's
crazy.
Fuck niggas a rat.
Mm.
He ain't say he lied on me. He said he a rat. I just went to court and they let everything out. That fuck nigga a rat. Him, Woody, and the other little D. Bitch, you in love with a rat hoe.
Crazy.
That's anger. Why? Because you just heard that your friends, because you didn't really know it was them, but it said witness 1 and witness 2, you were able to infer that your friends told the police about what you did the night of Donovan Thomas's murder. These are his words. He didn't say, yo, them dudes, I went to my prelim and they lied on me. He didn't say, oh man, they I don't know where they got this information from. He said they are rats.
All right.
Because what do rats do? They tell. And he was angry that his voice would tell what he did.
That's kind of expected though, but
let's talk about they songs.
Hey. I don't know. I like the beat of this song. Again, I am the queen of trash music. I like this beat. This is what again? I cannot see. Yeah, I cannot see that. I just be a murderer. I like the beat, but the song is kind of trash.
What's important about the timing of this? Ladies and gentlemen, we told you that between 2016 and 2019, there were no courts involved.
All right.
From 2019 to 22, there was no indictment, nothing happening in the case.
And then for the Daniel Penny case, I guess, let me give it some more thought. I'm going to give it some more thought. I don't know that I'd have formed a proper opinion by tomorrow, but let me give it more thought. Okay. I'll give it more thought. And the reason I know I'm jumping around, but again, anybody that has been under or that has been in New York City subways might be different in other parts of the world or the country, but New York City subway does have, you can see that the city is in crisis, right? And I don't know. I guess ultimately in the case, it would come down to the juror's sense of safety as far as the subway is concerned. Obviously, in this case, they acquitted the man, so they may have thought that he was justified in killing this young man. But all right, let's get back into this. It's just weighing very heavy on my heart right now.
So in 2019, which is 4 years after the murder, he knows that Sledge has been dismissed.
Okay.
Copeland has been dismissed. And Garlington has been
And then this weekend, I think Sunday is the best time for us to pretty much map out all the charges, basically all the 28 defendants, see the charges that were dismissed, see what's left, and the one conviction, right? I think that would be a great, it would form a great backdrop as we prepare for, the next trial.
Dismissed. His case is the only one that ain't been dismissed. In 4 years, you haven't heard about an indictment. You think you beat a murder rat.
Okay, look at love.
This isn't, he was on this and that.
Girl.
He thought he beat a murder rat because you're not indicted until almost 7 years later. So you think you got away with it.
Okay.
I keep a stick, ain't avoiding no smoke, a chopper. I just beat a murder rat.
Those
Ain't my lawyer 30 for that. Me and my slimes above the law. I know it's mumbling, but he says we don't work in court at all. And I'll wipe your nose, send your family's face, and just smile it off. Some of these things he repeats in multiple songs.
Okay.
What's this song?
What is this? Yeah, this is a trash song. Terrible. That man should stay out of the studio. Trash. Hey. Hey.
This song, remember, these songs were on his phone when we found it in 2022. But remember, we said that they may have been created maybe 2020, sometime between 2020 and 2022, right?
Okay.
At this point,
Oh, so the songs were on his phone. That explains why I cannot find the music on the internet. Okay, so okay.
Because they don't think they're going to get held accountable for the murder.
All right.
So they start saying stuff in their songs like, I just beat a homicide. Ha, ha, ha. Walk it up.
I love it. I love it when she does that.
Boy on the curb.
I am living
where was
for her.
Douglas Thomas found, y'all? On the curb. I'm a big lizard, big slime, big shot,
right.
riding down your block, hanging out the top.
I'm sorry. I'm having a little too much fun. Like, you should have seen that. I mean, you guys can see the way that Love looked at Abate. She looked like a proud mom. She's like, oh, girl.
Oh, shoot. Didn't Reginald Hendricks say that somebody was shooting out of the top of the infinity? See, now you start bragging on it because you think you beat it.
All right.
So now you, like our experts told you, they start bragging about it.
Listen, this is a good closing, especially considering that it is not pre-written. Okay, you can tell that she's basically talking. She's just. It's not that it's impromptu, but it's not written. It's not scripted.
What we call is dry snitching.
All right.
You telling on yourself.
Look at Love.
You don't think that the police are going to find your phone. That's why you're through it. But luckily for Viverito, she listened to some jail calls and found that phone. Because you didn't think we were going to find it. This is called confession. This ain't rap. This is a confession.
All right.
Over a beat.
What song is this? I don't know if this is Red Light. Then the very first time I listened to Red Light, I thought I liked it, and this is probably my third time listening to it. So I don't know. I don't know that I like it anymore, but I think it was the first one. I forgot what it's called.
Walking down from a mile, walking down. I don't give a fuck about a red light. I'm on go. I'm on green. I see it. I'm taking him down.
Oh, okay.
Walk him down from a mile. The last homicide, I smiled. How many times you gonna keep talking about the fact that you killed this man and you bragging about it? This now song number 3.
Okay.
And then I can send the whole gang to the heavenly house? You good with killing folk. That's why you didn't kill Donovan, you didn't kill Shamel. I ain't even gonna play the song. Let's just talk about that.
I'm like, Love, I'm kind of enjoying this a little too much. Like, this is probably my favorite part of the entire closing. Okay.
My eyes. Let that bitch rain out the top of the drop. Here we go again. Lizard wants to drop. Let that glizzy rock.
Ooh.
Oh, glizzy. Ain't that a Glock? Dang. One Shamel killed with a Glock? Wasn't there a Glock on that table? Well, what investigator Viverito said it looked like a Glock.
So let's see. We have some comments in here. So real thing. Yeah, Dennis be tripping and I don't want you to have any issues on YouTube. Thanks, real thing. I appreciate that. Okay, so Brooklyn says, if you want to feel a different experience, don't watch it. Just listen to it. Just listen. You'll hear the difference. What are you referring to? And then Brooklyn wants to know if I watch. Excuse me. Brooklyn wants to know if I watched last Juror 409 and Cat Williams going at it. Unfortunately, not. I did not get the chance to watch that. And I think isn't that the one that was on Dana's channel? No, I did not. I did not get a chance to listen to that. Did you watch it? If you did, what were your impressions?
And I found it interesting because we're gonna get to Shamel soon. We about to get to Shamel.
Okay.
He said that Shannon wasn't linked to the 40, but he linked to having guns thrown away. That's what he did in 2015. He's linked to the gun that was probably in the house an hour before he killed Shamel, sitting on the table in front of him. We ain't gonna play this one either, but let's talk about what he's saying this.
Okay.
I see ops fall, Shell, know my call.
Now this is
Shell
another awful song.
Every slime play nasty. That's what he says in the song. They wonder how we lasted. Bout my gang, it will never end. Again, beat the hum.
All right.
Y'all.
That girl's little Dora the Explorer Bobby's bouncing, baby. She has motion.
Okay. He don't realize that what his two co-conspirators said is evidence. Those interviews are evidence. His confession over a beat is evidence. This is evidence, ladies and gentlemen. And this is evidence you can take to the bank, deliberate, and find him guilty.
You guys should have done a better job of tying that up. I'm gonna share the link. Let's see. Oh, so Sheila loves Lizard. I don't know. I thought the first time I listened to Red Light, I thought I liked Red Light, but the very first, what was the first song? I don't remember the first song they played on here. The one where I said I like the beat. I actually like that song. So I shared the link. Real thing, if you've made it to your destination and you have questions, feel free to join. Anybody else with questions, feel free to join. And we are going to get into Diddy in a little bit, but I wanted to close this out so we could move on from this chapter, okay?
The surveillance video is evidence. No, we don't have his phone records, but you got his two friends.
All right.
Telling y'all what he did. And they don't got no reason to lie on him. For what?
Look at love.
What he said? That's why he popped off your big homie, bitch. Donovan Thomas was the big homie. There was no need for that ad lib at the end of the song. But again, in 2020, they brazen. They have the audacity to think that they can just brag about killing somebody and no one's going to.
Brooklyn, what did she lie about? Do you think she was just contradicting herself, or did she, go out of a way to make up, facts or reasons for why she would have voted to convict?
Hold them accountable. That's what they're doing in 2020.
What song is that? Now that I think back, I'm going to when we refer to, or at least I'm referring to the Surviving YSL video, the 15-minute video that we watched last night, right? It was pretty obvious that the three jurors, they did not take a liking to 409. Again, that's just me being messy. But I'm trying to figure out why it was tumultuous between them, because prior to the jury being given the charge, there would have been no reason for them to talk about this case unless it was just personality clashes or something along those lines. I don't remember listening to this. Maybe I did not get this far. Yeah. This is terrible music. Like, I like trash music, but this, no bueno.
100 rounds in a Tahoe? Everyone knew that Donovan drove a Tahoe. And how ironic is it that he got rounds of bullets in his Tahoe and on the street? So they want you to believe, oh, that's a creative line Mr. Williams did. No, it's not. It's him bragging.
So I guess Diggy likes this song. I can. This song is not me. No. I cannot.
It's him wanting to claim responsibility for it. And we talked about judging, like when I say subliminal messaging. But the subliminal is you, as the consumer, don't know what he's talking about. But his family, who know that Donovan drive a Tahoe, know exactly what he's talking about.
All right.
Everyone in the gang knows exactly what they're talking about because that's who he's talking to.
All right.
But because the masses bop to the song, they say, well, no, that's just his artistry. No, that's just his confession and his bragging over a beat.
This case makes me want to take a closer look at what's a kid from Texas. What's a kid from Texas? A kid from Texas. TK, right? It makes me want to take a closer look at that case because obviously the jury in that case convicted him, or at least his initial case. He's going on trial again in February for, I think it's another murder. And if I'm not mistaken, he was sentenced to 50 years. But it makes me want to take a closer look, I guess distinguish, right, between, I mean, this case was a dog. They had nothing here. But I'd like to distinguish this case from cases where criminal defendants were convicted based off lyrics, in their songs, or songs that they actually made. Oh no, this is a terrible song. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What? No. No wonder I don't listen to that because the music is not giving. No. Like, I listen to trash music, but this I cannot. Okay, no. I mean, I listen to Rich Homie Quan, but I don't know. This music, maybe it's a sound or auto-tune. I don't know. I listen to a lot of trash music though. There's a kid, he's part of Only the Family. I think his name is Booker 600 or Booker 400. No, it has to be 600. That kid, now that's trash music, but even his trash music is really good. There's a song of Booker, Vaughn, I want to say Dirk is on that song. It's called Jump. That is a fantastic, my kid has my phone, otherwise I'd have played it. That is a really, I'm going to have to get my phone from my kid, but I'll play it. Hopefully I remember. The beat and everything. And the reason why I brought up Booker is because he's not as well known as the other folks on Only the Family. But I had, the Apple Music, whatever, the, what is this? The reels that they usually give at the end of the year when they sum up the year. I was one of his top listeners for, I don't remember, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. That's how much I love trash music. What the hell am I watching? That is so gross. What? Oh my goodness. I have to skip through this. I don't know. The song's not giving. Let's just move past that.
Sport or murder.
I got caught off guard.
I-85.
Okay, so what's this timeline? Okay, so they're saying Lucci was stabbed. Called to determine if he could get paid for, murking him. That's how, I don't know. Anyways, so emergency bond, media stories. Okay, Mac Miller, and then YFN associate shot in the head.
The same night, there's a shooting at 12 Atlanta where YFN.
So it's Feb. March.
An associate was shot in the head.
Hold on, let me take a look at these comments because I don't want to. All right, Diggy. What boyfriend? What am I missing? Okay. Oh, okay. So is it Lizard Walk? I like that song. I'm gonna have to play it. Once I come off here, I'm gonna have to play it. I'm gonna have to find it. I'm like, what boyfriend? Okay. Didn't you break up with FFS? They're related. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, I guess Diggy's up here rapping. Yeah, it's Buka 600 because I thought 400, but I'm like, no, it's usually 300 and 600. But okay. Ooh wee! All right, I'm gonna leave Diggy's stuff alone. Let me leave Diggy alone. Okay. What is NP? What is NP? You guys, I don't know. Where's FFS, by the way? FFS, I think, was the first person in this chat, though. So, all right.
On March 12th, there's a shootout on Cleveland Avenue with Damikion Garlington and the ops. On March 12th, there's a 911 call shooting at 28.
Okay, shootout.
30 Waters Road. March 14th, Shannon Stillwell rents the Audi A5 and puts dark tints on all the windows. March 14th, 10 o'clock is the murder of Shamel Drakes. On March 16th, the shooting at Waters Road, where the investigator Rita comes out. March 17th, there's a search of Waters Road where everything is taken out except for a few guns that they left behind. And then Stillwell and Nichols are arrested. Again, we talk about the state does not have to prove motive, but here, ladies and gentlemen, this is motive.
Okay.
Again, that's that same video with Quindarius, y'all. Christian McMillan's been around since 2009. This is Mr. Williams' long friend, old friend, good friend. And he gets murdered by Wyeth and Associates. Oh, you got to pay for that. Here we have just different pictures of them, both Mr. Ford and Mr. McMillan, all with other YSL associates. You'll have these in evidence, ladies and gentlemen. That's unfortunately the car that they were driving in when they were tragically gunned down on March 11th. So here's where the motive comes in, y'all. Just like YSL brags about doing stuff, YFN does the same thing.
All right.
It's tragic. These posts were despicable. That post crossing out that young girl's daddy and saying that, despicable. But that's the type of stuff that gangs do, right? To keep nudging each other. Well, that would make you
more like taunting, but
you see how heartbroken YSL was for the death of Mr. McMillan.
Oh, I'm sorry, Diggy. I'm sorry. My bad. All right. I thought it was FFS, but I stand corrected.
They were devastated. These are all different YSL members posting them because they were devastated.
All right.
And that's where revenge kicks in. That is Mr. Stillwell's post. I ain't gonna be the only one crying. Nope, you're right. The Drinks family crying. Because he had to make sure. And then what does he say here? Just rep Mac, I got you, man. Crying emoji, broken heart, taped up heart, devil emoji. He was ready to go out hunting. I know that was in January, but that just goes to show you he already knew how to be on the prowl. Yes. He already knew how to go out hunting. And this is what Damikion say on the wiretap on about March 11th to March 12th.
I cannot hear what they're saying. Can I just fast forward?
You know what? You know what he on. He on looking for them folks who killed our boys. That's what he on.
Hey, Jerome. I'm gonna skip this. I cannot hear what you're saying. So
Now, this notion that they rented the car because Taisha got into the gunfight. Well, she got into the gunfight on March 9th.
okay.
So she got into the gunfight on March 9th. Why y'all just renting the car on March 9th? They rent the car on March 14th. Oh, here we go. And what do? Immediately go to the tent place to go get the rental car tinted. Well, why do you do that when you're out?
Yeah, the prosecution, they should have tied up. There are too many loose ends. One of the loose ends again is, the tint. This would not have brought them any closer to their burden. But they needed some type. They needed somebody to explain the. They needed a lot of experts to explain the lack of evidence. I don't even know if I don't know if they could have done that. With experts, you can get anybody to say anything. Oh, this reminds me. When it comes to Daniel Penny, hey Jerome.
I'm in here. I'm in the back. I just want to let
Oh,
everybody
okay.
know I'm
What's up?
here.
What's up?
I'm
What's
in the
up?
back.
I need to tell you some money
Yeah, we go wait. We go get we
Yeah,
go
did you
get
have a good day?
you know it's up. Huh?
Did you have a good day?
Yeah, I did.
No,
I did.
okay. That's good. I'm
But
just
I just
checking.
want to let you know I'm in the back. So now
All right. Sounds good.
everybody
Hey,
can have their jokes.
I have a question for you though,
All right.
because you're from New York, right?
Uh,
What is your sense of subways? Like, did you take subways? Did you not take them? If you did, why did you? If you didn't, why didn't you?
well, from where I was at, if anybody was paying attention, we took trains. We took the trains until we went into Manhattan, and then we were in the subways. But we was on a train. The train and subway is like the same thing, in my opinion. I
I think
mean,
it's the same. I know
yeah,
you're
it's
from
the
down.
same atmosphere. You're
Right,
going to
right.
the train, and then you're on a train underneath. It's still the same train, but
This was back, I think for you, this was probably 90s, maybe 80s though. So, did you ever sense that the subway or the trains were unsafe?
you talking about me?
Yeah, it's a
I
question you
mean, it
answer.
was the streets. It was the streets. Because
Yeah,
truthfully, it was like the graffiti was underneath the ground and stuff like that.
yeah,
That's where you was going into the streets. It ain't never changed.
yeah.
When you on the train or the subway, it's it's like riding a city bus. And then on a train or a subway, you kind of feel like you got a little bit more energy or something. When I
And what?
was younger, because it's always been like that.
Yeah,
It's like it makes you feel like you're not like you're beneath. But now, thank God that life is different. But back then, it was like you was like food stamps. You was a food stamp type dude if you was on there like that.
I'd like to think that there were some business folks out there. No.
Yeah, but not. Yeah, yeah. Calling on what time? What time?
Yeah, because
What
I'd
time
like
of the
to
day?
think that. Yeah, the reason why I was asking you is because obviously, I don't know if you heard about the Daniel Penny case. Um,
Yeah, I was not happy with it. And I actually the thing that I didn't like, and I'm gonna shut up, the
uh,
thing that I didn't like is they had two lawyers that was
uh-huh,
on the jury. Two lawyers from New
yeah,
York. So, and they said that. And they ain't really say nothing, but you know how New York rocks. So it was like I could read between the lines. It's two white lawyers on the damn jury, and how they did this thing right here, they have to do something to where you cannot have no lawyer on the jury because that is not fair at
no, but
all.
lawyers have to serve too. Everybody has jury duty.
Yeah, but I
When you're called,
mean,
you have to
it,
go.
it, it should be all lawyers then.
Ah, you're funny.
Why would you? Because it's gonna be like you're gonna persuade somebody. Come
Yeah.
on.
And I mean, that's why I've always talked on here, or at least I've remarked on the fact that no person in their right mind would impanel me on a jury, right? Usually, it would be interesting. Do you know what type of lawyers or what type of law they practiced? Because that makes a difference.
That's
Okay.
where you come in.
All right. No, because to me, that's a very sensitive case. Okay.
Right.
But I
Why
had
would
to
you do
ask.
that? A lawyer though? So that means how did that so that means that I'm gonna ask you a question. So that means that the prosecution and the opposite side said, okay, you're a lawyer. We're okay with that. Is that how
Okay.
that works?
So I'm going to explain. I've said this before. Because oftentimes it's referred to as jury selection. Okay. So when a criminal defendant elects to have to be tried by a jury, um, the court has to there has to be I believe it's 12 if I'm not mistaken. My mind is a little twisted right now, but it's 12 and because this is a felony, 12 and 2 or 3 alternates, right? The way it works, a bunch of people, these, what is this, the jury duty letters are mailed out. Okay, so they are mailed out to folks that live in the community. And once they're mailed out, these people obviously have to show up to court for jury duty. And then oftentimes it depends on the court practice, but sometimes as part of voir dire, they give them these forms that they have to fill out. The forms typically just basic information, your name, your address, the type of news media you pay attention to, things of that nature, like basic information, to gather a sense of who the jurors are, right? And then we begin voir dire. This is the process where they question potential jurors to see if they could be impartial. Here's how it happens. That's why I like to call it deselection as opposed to selection. So, depending on the process, a judge could randomly draw numbers, jury numbers, and these folks would be seated, right? They're not yet on the jury, they're not yet impaneled, but they would go through voir dire, which is, again, it's a questioning process. During that process, what the DA and the defense are trying to root out is impartiality. So it's not always the case, but if it does happen that the first random numbers that were called, if let's say the first 6 or so, they can proceed on to the next stage. They're part of the jury, right? Then the next 6 would be excused or whatever, and then there's another random draw. So there's what is this? Both parties can strike potential jurors for cause. If somebody is biased, then that's it. They have to get off. They cannot be part of the jury. They cannot be part of the impaneled jury. Um, but every attorney, or not every attorney, every side can strike a juror for no reason at all. But the reason has to be, it cannot be due to race, sexual orientation, religious beliefs. You cannot discriminate as you're removing the person from the jury. Typically, though, based on the questioning, if everybody's satisfied with the folks that are seated on the jury, then that's who you have. Okay. So you don't necessarily you don't necessarily get to decide or choose who is going to be on the jury. The only thing you can really do is exclude certain people. Like, for example, if it was, what is this, the Kohlberger case that's coming up in Idaho, a death penalty case. If jurors are being questioned and there's certain jurors in that, that are part of the jury that have difficulties with the death penalty, then such people cannot be seated on the jury. Um, in this case, I mean, it's not, I guess New York must have a lot of lawyers or something. Um, but even the Trump case, there were two, what is this? There were 2 attorneys that were impaneled on that jury, right? Hey, real thing. So
Real thing.
the real struggle here, the reason why I'm struggling with this Daniel Penny case is because, again, we saw the footage. I think they could have disarmed this person without taking his life.
Right.
I mean, I've been on the subway a number of times. I'm not going back down there, but I have been on the subway a number of times.
Yeah.
But
Cause do they have anything on camera with the knife? Did you see any knife in his hand?
I don't recall seeing a knife. The only thing I saw was him taking that man's life. So
They said a knife. Did you see a knife?
I did not see a knife, but I'm also not going to rewatch that because it's difficult.
Nah, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it. I
Yeah,
saw
I did
one or
not.
two times. That was it.
No,
Cause
I
that's
did not
like,
see.
that's like George Floyd type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. No, but my sense, as far as this case is concerned, I mean, that's why I asked you what your sense was, on the subway.
On
I
the
mean,
train, yeah. Cause you got crazy people. They got people that actually get on the train and they sleep there. You
but
know,
they're
and
homeless though, so
yeah, 'cause they're homeless. But
know.
it's like I just find it really hard for it to be to where he's that type of guy to where somebody like myself could stand up and say, "Man, you having a bad day. Let me take you to lunch or something, and I'll put some money in your pocket to calm down." I don't see how he could actually do that when he obviously had a bad day.
Here's my sense. I don't think mental health or a mental health crisis should be a death sentence because
Right.
that is in essence what happened
I
in
got you.
the Daniel Penny case. I don't think because somebody is in crisis, you handle it by pretty much killing the individual. So that's that's what I struggle with in this
Me
case.
too.
But I foresaw this coming down to I would call it maybe a safe streets argument,
Hmm.
because if the folks that were part of this jury thought that the
On the
subway
train.
on the subway or train or whatever, if they thought that it was unsafe, then I guess this sentence makes, or the verdict makes sense for them. Because I thought that's
Yeah.
what it was going to come down to, whether people
You know
thought,
what I think it was? You know what I think it was? I think it was the people that was like on the fence. And my prediction, I think it was two. And I don't care if they were black or white. I think that they was on the fence of he had a time he knew that he wasn't um a threat no more.
okay,
But he kept going and he
that's my
killed him.
problem. That's my problem. Real thing, feel free to, type out your questions and I'll answer your questions, and you can obviously watch the replay later on. Or, yeah, but feel free to type out your questions. Yeah, I don't know.
And
It's
remember, and the guy that was holding his hands, it seems like they don't talk about the guy. Remember the guy that when Penny had him on the back, he had him good. It seems like that was around the time when he was losing consciousness. And
yeah.
then there was another guy that was holding his hands. Because I think that was around the time when he was, you know, God bless. But that guy that was holding his hands, what was he holding his hands for?
I don't know. I'll have to. I don't want to look at that.
Hey,
I'm not
me
gonna
either.
look at
Me
it
either. I'm
tonight.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna
Me
look at it
either.
tonight. But
I hate
um,
it. I hate it.
I mean, eventually, I don't know. It's a difficult case for me. It's usually I don't find many difficult cases because again, I'm a bit unusual, right? I'm a bit unusual, and let me illustrate how unusual I am, or how zealous I am in my, what is this, in my advocacy for my clients. Again, I worked in a very remote conservative district. One of them was, or maybe two, I don't remember. But this is during my time as a public defender. And one of the people that I had to defend was a man, it was a white man charged with, trying to remember the charge. What do they call it? I think it was aggravated assault or something. The reason why it was aggravated was because it was racially charged. And the victim in that case was a black woman. So in any event, they made him an offer. I communicated the offer, and this guy was going to go ahead and accept the offer. And I mean, when I spoke to this individual, I could tell he was racist, okay, just in terms of how he spoke to me. But, I'm like, whatever, let me do the job and move on to the next case. So when we went to court, and again, in this courtroom, I was the only black attorney. There was nobody else, like not a criminal defense attorney, not a prosecutor, nobody else. I was the only non-white person in that courtroom, except for some of the defendants. The demographics were about 7% black. So even when a defendant came to court, it's every once in a while there was a black person. Let me put it that way. So in any event, when it was time for mitigation, the judge looked at me. And the reason why the judge looked at me is because I was known for, at sentencing, I was known for, giving these really long mitigations and arguing why the court should be lenient and so forth. So the judge looked at me because he probably assumed that I was not going to do the same thing for this defendant, but he was wrong. He was wrong because I still went up there and did my job. So that's how I'd say how, I'm a bit unorthodox in that regard. But this Daniel Penny case is just, even from the perspective of somebody that advocated for criminal defendants, it is difficult for me to reconcile the verdict with the evidence and what we saw. All right, so Real Thing says, I will try to come back up to chat in a little while before you end this live. No problem, no pressure, no pressure. Everybody on here has a life. But let's get back into this. And I still want to talk, about Jay-Z. Let's see how we're doing on time. We have about maybe 30, 45
30
minutes.
minutes? Oh.
Listen. No, because I have a deadline tomorrow. I have a deadline tomorrow. So I need to get that done. But tomorrow, honestly, like the rest of this week, we could start early. We could start like 8:30 or whatever. We'll just see how it goes. We'll see how
we
it
like goes. Later. We like later better.
Oh, do you guys? Is that what you guys really like?
I think so. I really do. That's where we started.
Oh, why is that though?
It's good. We're the
okay,
late
never
night
mind.
crew.
All right, never mind. We'll stick to 9. We'll stick to 9. And then on the 16th, I don't have a calendar here. On the 16th, I'm not working, so we know on Sunday we're gonna go crazy because I'm taking off the 16th. But anyways, let's get into this.
Because the ops don't know what kind of car you in, so you can disguise yourself in this Audi because they don't know you in it, so they're not suspecting you. That's not the car that they're used to. So when you go out hunting, you got to switch the car out because they're not expecting to find you in the car.
It's still a long way, so I guess let me just skip because I'm kind of done with this lady. I want to see what she's going to say about the. Yeah, let's see how she explains this. I'm going to give her 10 more minutes.
I'm mad at you too.
Why?
Because didn't I tell you not to put me in the crib? See, that's the same thing right there. If anybody knows about the crib, that's what you're doing right now.
What? I thought you don't like being
You did it 3 times. You did it 3 times. 3 times you put me in the crib.
I'm sorry. We have a new bedtime.
Thank God you know what I'm talking about.
We have a new bedtime, Jerome. We have a new bedtime. So I got you a new swaddle blanket too. Yeah.
You should do a late night tonight. You owe that to the crew. You should do a little bit more than what you're talking about, 15 minutes or whatever you said just now. You should be on here until 11 o'clock, and then you can rock it down. You owe that.
What is Brooklyn strike? Like, are you protesting? You owe that. What's going on? No, tomorrow for sure. Tomorrow we can go 11.
All right, so
Tomorrow.
we done.
No, tomorrow we can go 11, but I would give more detail, but I'm pretty sure these people don't want to hear about my personal life. So I could.
Why not? Yeah, that's fun. That's buying time. That's buying time for everybody to come in because that'll be
No,
good. Because I'm curious of what you talking about too. Was it good? You had fun? Did you have fun?
it's gonna get fun. It's gonna
Did you
get
have
fun.
fun?
Send me an email. I want a real lawyer at gmail.com. You know, I like fooling around. All right, let's get into this, Jerome.
Watching it.
But for real though, I have a deadline. Tomorrow, so I need to get it done.
Let's watch the video.
All right. I hope she doesn't give another crazy explanation. Wait, is this the
And
BP?
this you cannot finish this without finishing me because you're not even at the beginning. You're at the beginning, so we gotta finish this. The Suge Knight.
Jerome,
We gotta finish the Suge
Jerome,
Knight. We gotta finish the Suge Knight. We gotta do that.
Jerome, you are on. We have a new
Asshole.
bedtime. We have a new bedtime, so let's get into this. I mean, honestly, on Friday we can even go. We can stay up until 4. Like,
What?
we can.
No.
Yeah, we can do that.
You know how much money I lost messing with y'all? I can't get up at 9 o'clock in the morning.
So why do you want to stay up late?
I know what you doing. We go.
So why do you want to stay up late?
It's according on the days.
What?
Days of the week. It's according on the days of the week. When you come and you say, what y'all think? What y'all think? You for the first time, and I'm talking for the whole our little small ass family, and shout out to everybody. But you
Shout out to our co-consoles. What?
But
Talk, girl.
tonight would have been a good one if you would have extended it and made it to where you would say, I'm sorry. Tonight will be a good night. And then you would have gave everybody a chance until like I don't know what time it is, but until like 11:30 and see who's gonna
Jerome,
come in, and then you'll be like, okay, I'm good. That's what I would do. I'll be like, I was, because you apologizing and you ain't apologizing to everybody.
I'll make up for it tomorrow, Jerome. Send me an email. I can tell you why. I can tell you why. If I tell you why, YouTube might strike my channel. So they might take my shit down, and I don't want that.
I don't even know your email, and I don't even want to know it.
Okay,
and we done it like that for a reason, because real recognize real. We don't need to know all that.
All right. So let's.
How much time before I'm going to the crib?
We have like 25 minutes.
How much?
25.
25?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. Let's finish this up though, because we need to talk about the Dixxler. We need to talk about. I really want to talk about Jay-Z, but I'm not even going to talk about. I'm not going to focus so much on the details, but I do have a legal opinion. I don't have legal advice.
I know. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So that we go. That's an extra 15 minutes just to get to the Dixxler and whatever you're talking about. I love that. So that's an extra 15 minutes.
All right. Let's go. All right. How does she explain this away?
Now, this is where Mr. Stillwater get to the gas station.
Did anybody keep up
Where
with
is everybody at? Wait, hold on. You ain't even do it, even though we ain't got a lot of time. It was 15 minutes plus 15 minutes. So that's an hour. So
no, that's not how
shout
numbers work.
Shout out to Ali.
That's not how
Everybody.
numbers
Where
work.
everybody at? Because you said I do math.
No, 15 plus 15 is not an hour. Like what?
Yeah, because you talking 15 minutes. We gotta round it off.
Somebody's gonna audit your books.
I mean 45 minutes. 45 minutes means an hour. So
Hey, old bag, you missed
old
out
bag.
on a
Word.
lot of.
Everybody need to
You
come in
missed out on
here.
me
Everybody.
laughing.
I came up first. So I got a coupon on that one. I came first. So let's go.
All
And I'm gonna
right.
sit back.
What's up, old bag? Did you have a good day? Let's see. And old bag, Jerome's upset. Okay. Oh, why didn't you have a good day? What's going on? Jerome's upset because Jerome has to go in the crib. I got him. He has a new bedtime. I got him a new swaddle
What?
blanket and everything, and he's upset about that. So we might have to give him like I don't know a bottle or
Flipped
something.
it. She flipped it on me. She flipped it on me.
Yeah, we might have to give him a bottle or something. But I
You
do have a
flip.
deadline tomorrow. I need to finish a settlement demand, and it's almost bonus season. I'd like to get my bonus. I'd like to get my bonus, so I need to deliver. All right, so let's get back into this. I do not recall seeing this man previously. Maybe I was not focused on him.
Oh, that was you. I thought it was something.
Hmm?
Nothing.
Hmm. You're
I
starting
gotta go
early.
inside.
You is starting early. Come on, Simone. You're supposed to be talking. You're supposed to be guiding the jurors and me. What are we looking for? I hate gas stations. I hate going to gas stations. Let's see. All right, why'd you pause? Oh, just a glitch. It is glitchy.
Now you see when Mr. Cormavius Nichols gets to the gas station.
All right. Oh, okay. Well, you're here, so you're here. Thanks for tuning in. How's she gonna explain this? I'm gonna skip because I'm tired of listening to feedback.
Shout out to Ali,
Big shout out to
Chadigi,
As Cormavius
FFS,
gets into the car,
because you just said that it's a short. It's a short. So
Yeah.
that's what I did the last two times. Once you said it was a short, I was like,
Yeah.
what's the purpose of me coming in?
It's over an hour. What are you talking about? Jerome, it's over an hour. I don't want you to cry about missing out on money and so let's see. Obag says, how are you, Jerome? Yeah, so how's the hair? Did you get it done? Are the floor man, my floors pristine, baby. Like I am so happy. Yeah, thanks for asking. Like I was at work just thinking about my floors. So they're still in good shape. So thank you for asking. That's a very important part of my day. I'm pleased with myself. My hair, it turned out okay. It's not. Here's the thing. I know, random story, but I've had three, or is it two sets? No, I've had three sets of dreadlocks. Okay, first I had wigs. I had wigs, but they weren't. It's not like Florida wigs, but they were definitely larger than average, right? I had those, and then I combed them out. I shed so much hair, like my hair was shedding like crazy. So I made them smaller, and then the smaller ones I kept for like a year, and then I lost a lot of hair again because I combed them out. And then I tried a third set, right? Because I prefer thicker dreadlocks, like what's his name, Mr. Bumpus. Those are my type of dreadlocks I like. I like that the what is this the width. And I had smaller dreadlocks, but I took them out. And honestly, yesterday, as we were watching I know Jerome's like, oh, bag, why did you ask her that? Now she's talking about random shit. But yesterday, as we're watching the jurors, I kept admiring, I think it was 255, because she's the one with the micro locks, right? I was going to start talking about micro locks, but I'm like, these people don't want to hear about it. So, but I am tempted to get micro locks, but I'd have to go to probably the South. I'm probably gonna have to go down to Mississippi, maybe Baton Rouge or something, to get it done. But my hair turned out good. It's just loose hair. But I need to I know I need to figure something out because my hair's still shedding because obviously I lost a lot of hair from combing dreadlocks out over a period of what 3 or 4 years. So yeah, other than that, I'm doing very well and my floors are pristine. All right, let's
And Mr.
in
Drinks
here.
sits in the car for a little while. Now,
Okay.
it would appear that all their business is done at the gas station,
All right, but
but they don't leave.
okay. I mean, that is not cause for. I mean, I'm not the type to sit at a gas station, though. I hate gas stations. But in a parking lot, I'm definitely the type to probably sit longer than I should. So I don't think that's cause for suspicion.
It is 21:56.
All right. Did they slow it down? Or what's going on? All right, come on, Simone. Talk. All right, we've watched her.
She didn't say anything about. Then you see Nichols pull up. I'm just gonna submit that this car stops here. This car, I think, saw what happened. Because he stops a little behind it, like, whoa. You had the person walking down the street.
Yeah. I'm still, for me, that drinks, that's SB. That's SB all day. I'm going to,
Mr. Sharp,
excuse me.
and we're going to talk about this
Yeah,
in a
down
moment.
that hill.
Mr. Sharp talked about what the medical examiner said.
Okay.
What she said was there will be no conscious movement. She didn't say anything about unconscious movement.
Ma'am, that's where you should have redirected, okay? Because this is closing, opening, not evidence. You should have redirected her properly. But, whatever. Let's see. Jerome, old bag, first date. Is that what?
Oh, that'll be funny. That'll be funny. Hey, that'll be a good one. I bet y'all pay for that.
First date, we
You
could
don't
start
even know.
dating
I
for
don't even know
our-
how old bag is. I don't know how old she is.
Old
Guess
bag
what?
is 44.
I'll
If I
be-
remember correctly. I got you with that one, old bag.
Old bag. I like old bag. Shit. We can have lunch,
love
dinner,
old bag.
whatever, breakfast, whatever the fuck.
All right, let's get into this.
Because that is what you see with the brake lights, y'all. No, he could not.
Yeah, but that's not sufficient, man. You should have redirected. The medical examiner, and that is where you failed in your burden.
Say, let me go.
And then again, this is exactly what I was talking about, where it helps to know the forensic medicine aspect of a case, because if you don't redirect a witness immediately, you're going to have serious problems down the line because your closing is not evidence. Old bag, I have a photographic memory, believe it or not. Like I remember things from way back. In a few years, I'm going to remember what your profile photo looks like. So yeah.
But the unconscious movement, because he just been shot in his head, is what is happening.
Yeah, it's a little too late.
Y'all got to think about this, because this is what they didn't want to show you.
Who didn't want to show who? Ma'am, you are the prosecution.
Shannon went from 18 miles per hour to 90 miles per hour. See, Mr. Shaw, they want to talk to you about that. He want to tell you
that's your
about
job.
the car that turned around because he heard the gunshot. But the man or woman walking down the street didn't hear any gunshot.
Go in.
That person walking.
Look at that girl. I did not see her.
Going in.
Girl, she's a lot of fun.
If the people in the car heard the gunshot and turned around, don't you think that the person walking down the street would be like, hold up, let me back up?
Yeah.
It's some gunshots down there.
Yeah.
No.
Look at Miss Love.
Could it be that maybe?
All right, Jerome, I'll give an extra 15 minutes, okay? You have coerced me. This is not free and voluntary. Yeah.
You owe us. So you know what?
Yeah, so I'll give an extra.
I'm a hustler. So the 15 turned into 20. That's how you make money. 15 is 20. We don't.
You hustled 15 minutes out of me. Brooklyn, what are you referring
15
to?
15 is 20.
Yeah.
The car that turned around, saw the liquor store and said, shoot, let me go get me a drink. It's Saturday. Could it be they left something at the gas station? He wants you to believe that the only reason why they turned around is that they heard gunshots. That doesn't make sense when someone is walking down the street.
This was a good idea.
It don't make sense.
No, this was good, but it's
very good idea. Because the jury said that they was like, who the hell? That was because I was like that. I was like Suge Knight. That's when I call it Suge. When they just wearing the red too. Yeah. I was like, damn, it's blood.
You're crazy. That's funny. Yeah, that Bobby's bobbing though.
Then let's talk about the car.
He said Bobby is bobbing.
You see what time the cars are going.
Okay, let's.
Here are the 3 cars in a straight line.
All right.
Do you see that straight line? It's a straight line. The 3 cars. Shannon's car is directly next to Mr. Drink's car.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be important when I show you these crime scene photos.
Okay.
This other car that he wants to talk about, that he's like, oh, this is the one who killed, this is the person who shot. Oh, and we couldn't get LPR. What? Where was I going to get LPR from? You can't see no license plate. I don't even know what type of car it is. That car is never directly next to Mr. Drinks. It is always behind. I submit they saw what happened. And when they inched up, they looked over. Like, oh,
I see what you're saying, Brooklyn. I see what you're saying. And to me, this is evidence too. This is, I'm going to die on that hill. Who's this? Shar definitely, he was brilliant in the holes that he poked, right? And because he poked so many holes, I believe that it's a correct verdict to acquit on this, because the standard for a conviction in, if we're going to oversimplify it, you have to ask yourself, does it cause me to hesitate? And if it does, then it's an acquittal. So the first few times that I watched this footage, I did hesitate, right? But that hesitation was caused by Shart's brilliant cross-examination.
Let me get up out of Dodge, as most other cars did, except for Mr. Cheeseboro. Mr. Cheeseboro's call did not come in until 10:27, because every other car did what that car did. They drove by it. That car actually waited at the red light versus Mr. Stillwell almost hitting traffic.
Oh, remember the time when we reviewed this, Jerome? I said, I wanted to know if that car waited for a green light or not. So,
remember when we was talking about it? Well, I had to reevaluate, but I thought a car went straight and all of that. And then I said that there's a white line to where you have, when you're at a light, they wasn't at that line. So it was like they went to the line.
Yeah. The crossing.
Yeah. When you go to the big white line, Because
Yeah.
remember, I was like, yo, they ain't all the way over there. They're not all the way to the line.
Right, right.
So this notion that he stopped at the red light, if you didn't just shoot and kill somebody, why are you fleeing through traffic to get on the highway at 90 miles an hour?
Who did that?
SB.
Did somebody do that? What she said just now?
She's saying that's SB. That's Shannon in the Audi.
So he made a right.
No, he
or
went
left.
straight.
He went straight. So that'd be the fastest route to get to 20.
I have no idea where that man was going.
All right.
Argument. That's Hylton's argument.
If y'all choose to talk to us at the end and you can, once the judge lifts all the admonitions.
That's interesting, though. I guess obviously we're not going to get that information, but I would be interested in knowing what the jurors said to the state.
Brooklyn says he went straight. Brooklyn said he went straight, which y'all always say he went straight. But I'm just curious of that, if that takes you the fastest to get to 20, or if you make a right and it makes it faster to get 20.
Yeah,
straight or right?
Yeah, we'd need digging here because she's familiar with the area. Those are her stomping grounds.
No, or FFS.
Oh, FFS. I don't know. FFS. I don't know.
He listening to him.
Doing. Oh, you think he's in here? He might. I don't know. He might be getting.
I know he listening.
Work.
That's my guy. That's my guy. I say FFS. He
I'm
remind me of Jay-Z. I keep my eye open like CBS.
All right, Mr. New York. All right, Mr. New York. Do your thing. Okay. All right. I think I'm about to finish with this and move on.
Some of you may ask, how I get chosen?
What?
And we're gonna say, because you got common sense.
All right.
Your common sense will tell you that when you go from 18 miles per hour to 90 miles per hour, when you see the person who you think killed your best friend, that you shot and killed him. That's just your common sense. Not some random car that pulls up behind and unfortunately may have witnessed a shooting and they don't want to be involved.
She said maybe.
Let's look at the car.
All right. Dang, that girl is out bouncing in those heels and everything.
Here go the bullet holes. 1, 2,
They need to
3.
come in.
See, Mr. Sharp didn't show you that. Because if you see the crime scene,
it's not his job. I would have been objecting over here because that's burden shift.
photos, the crime scene photos will show you that the bullet went through the door where Mr. Stillwell's car was. And we'll talk about the gunshot residue. Wouldn't make sense. There's no muzzle flash anywhere on the video. So that's just nonsense. You don't see no muzzle flash. Mr. Drink's dead though.
Who?
So we know a gun was fired. Let's take his theory. You don't see the muzzle flash when the other car pulls up, do you?
I also said that. So okay, Miss Hylton. All right.
You don't. That theory makes no sense. You have to take all the evidence, not just FedEx, but everything that occurred.
Not just FedEx.
Like I told you, he went from literally, y'all, 18 miles all the way to 90.
Miles per hour?
To 90. This is the intersection. This is 1 minute later. What you fleeing for 90 miles per hour if you ain't killed nobody? You was just chilling.
You just chilling.
And then you go to the studio and do what you do.
All right.
You brag. Because remember, they all went to the studio. And what he say? Pop my shit. I really got options. Poor little...
I don't know. I thought Taisha said he was at the studio rapping about her. No, like... He's out there rapping about ops and not Taisha.
Look how they just drop it. Poor little ops. Look how they just drop it. Those are his words.
All right.
After
he
got
the dates right.
A man at a light.
What's that?
He got the dates right.
They're gonna rap about it.
Yeah. No, Love was loving it. Okay.
This is why they think they above the law.
She was living for the moment.
Yeah. Her last
This
moment.
is what Demikian say afterwards.
I cannot listen to these calls unless Jerome. Maybe you can hear.
Now I know Mr. I don't know if y'all remember when them two got into it. Mr. Viverito was like, he said city, he said C. No, he said, I'm coming back. We just coming back through, riding, trying to see. This is it.
All right.
See how she said it? See how because she from Philly.
Okay.
Rewind and see how she said it. On that is just like I would say if I was on the jury, because Hylton is a gangster. I like Hylton. I like her. I like her. I like her. And
Yeah.
I know she want to be the boss. And she did a good job of actually playing both sides of the fence. And I was not liking her at all.
Why
But
not?
because she was too much on love. Too much on love. But now I understand because when Love had to sit back, we actually saw the torch being from Love to Hylton. We saw that on this trial.
He's a new torch.
Yeah, Love is going somewhere. I don't know where she's going, but Hylton is gonna be the new Love.
She needs her own torch because Love's torch, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that torch.
No, but she got it. She got it. Hylton is the perfect person to take that and actually be able to, because you could tell how she was dealing with the defense and everything, and giving them the videos and whatever they was asking.
Yeah.
They were talking after hours on the phone. She was not like Love, because Love would be like, my phone died. But you got to give her props that she did the best she could do.
That girl said my phone died. I have no signal.
She seems like she would do that. She's very, 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 very.
Yeah.
Hopefully, her zodiac sign is not the same as mine.
Who's that?
No. Let's go.
Oh, okay. No, I understand what you're saying in terms of she is more amiable, and Love is just insufferable. Okay, so Sheila, I'll check it out. Liza Walk on YouTube. I'm gonna be bopping to that as I'm ironing my clothes.
You always ironing. Oh my God.
I'm always ironing, baby. I have to iron my clothes. But one thing about me, Jerome Streets, you are not gonna catch me in these streets with the wrinkled clothes. It's not happening. Not happening. No one bit. Yeah, but the thing is with who's this Hylton though? Again, to me, this was a good closing. I think she, I don't want to say redeemed herself, but she fought. She was just persistent. So I like that. I like that about her closing. All right, let's see. How much time do we have? Okay, we have 15 minutes. Let me finish this and then we're going to get into Jay-Z.
Why are you coming back through the crime scene if you ain't did nothing? Why? This is Mechanicsville, y'all. Yeah. They went to Fulton Industrial. This is coming back in the city trying to see. They came back through. Why? Because they want to see. Is the police still out there? What they doing? They canvassing? Any of the homeless people see what happened? Let me try and see what's going on. And then what did Demikian say afterwards? This on March 15th, y'all. We got y'all, boys. You right.
For people that live in Fulton County, do you have to, as far as the prosecutor's office is concerned, do they have to live in Fulton County in order to work for the DA's office or no?
Right. They thought that they got him because they killed Mr. Drinks, who they thought murdered Christian and Darius. This is we got y'all, boys.
We got your boys.
Here's a direct response to the shooting. Remember, this on March 16th. YFM folks, and we know it's YFM, or we believe it's YFM, because remember, these shell cases match the shell cases of the Darius Ford, Christian McMillan shooting.
Honestly, the very end, somebody said she cries.
But what did they do? Off of What?
That's never on camera.
Oh, really? So who was taught? Was it people that were in court?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, thanks for that update.
Was at the barbershop joking, laughing outside. You see the surveillance video? And left him like this.
I don't want to see that. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, evil prevails when good men and women do nothing. I'm asking you to do something. I'm asking you to hold
that girl. Do you see the movement? She is G, baby.
Accountable. I'm asking you to return a verdict of guilty.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for your attention and your patience during this very long day. I know this was not an easy day for y'all. It's been
I'm gonna miss
a lot of hours
Whitaker.
here in the courtroom.
Really?
I'm gonna miss her. I like Whitaker. I really love her.
Yeah,
I
well,
love her. I always gave her props from day one, and she did exactly. I love. Everybody's gonna miss Whitaker. Anybody that like Mook Toon,
yeah.
we need Whitaker to come and clean that up. We need to pray for him.
Oh,
we
yeah.
need to clean that up. Yeah, we need to clean that up. That ain't right.
All right. Let's see. All right, so real thing, when you do get to watch this, throw all your questions at me, and let's see. It's not. I'm not interested in the verdict itself, but now obviously I won't be able to find that anymore. Let's see. Defense expert.
What is Brooklyn talking about? She's like me. Answer Brooklyn questions.
Uh-huh.
Answer everybody other than me.
Oh, I did not see a question. So Brooklyn says what?
No, go.
Okay, so Brooklyn's basically saying that Shannon probably has a bond hearing coming up next week.
Yeah, right. And what about Yak? Because they talking about Yak. They trying to hold him on when he had to go through with the jailhouse altercation. That should be like time served times 10.
Oh yeah,
I
time.
don't. Yeah, it's like, yo, what are you talking about? Just call a bondsman and get out. I don't know what the hell they got going on with that.
Yeah,
because that's something that you have to investigate as well. Because I ain't gonna tell my story, but I was able to bond out. You
yeah.
know, even if I had
Thanks, Brooklyn.
things going on in jail. I was able to bond out real quick, like the same day. He should have left the same day. I don't understand that.
No, we'll see. Yeah, old bag. I agree with you. When Whitaker got on the stand and on the bench initially, she was facetious. But I mean, that's coming from somebody that laughs at everything. So you see, that even made me laugh. So that annoyed me a little bit, but things quickly changed.
She was laughing. She was laughing all back, and she always was because she couldn't believe the shenanigans. Do you remember the laugh? It wasn't even a laugh. She went through all of that when she found out that Kayla and Shannon was married. She was like, "Are you serious?"
Are y'all
Whatever
for
she
real?
said. Yeah, are y'all for real? That was like that goes down in history.
Are y'all for real, y'all?
That goes down in history. That's in history.
I'm sure when she got home, she was like, Jack, you won't believe what they did today. But yeah.
History.
No, for me, I mean, in the beginning, she probably was. I don't want to say she was making light of it. It might have been nerves or something. But eventually, it was time to face the music.
I mean,
Okay.
it doesn't. Y'all gotta give it up for Whitaker. Whitaker did a good
Big
job.
ups to
She
Whitaker.
did a good freaking job.
Shout out to Paige.
She did a good freaking job. She
Yeah.
hurried it up like she said, and she went straight to the giddy. She went
Yeah.
straight to the
She
bank.
was not playing. She was
She
not
went
playing.
straight to the bank. She went straight to the bank. Where's
Yeah.
the money at?
Yeah. And then let's see. Brooklyn says, I'm sure the judges meet and she has her own opinion on Glanville. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, attorneys and judges, they all have opinions about each other. We don't always vocalize what we think, but Hey, real thing, feel free to ask, questions if you have any questions.
Hello. I'm so sorry. Out of all the nights, I've been waiting on you to talk about this closing, the remainder of it.
Yeah.
I only have a few minutes, but all I've been wanting to say is I understand how many people, their opinion was they didn't like it because they thought she was quote unquote code switching or she came off as ghetto and too loud.
I
I
hate that
never,
word, but
I
yeah.
did not have a problem with that.
Okay.
Not at all. My issue was the misrepresentations. Now, shout out to Attorney Brooklyn. She called it what it is. She said she lied. Hylton lied. I don't want to say that because I do respect her. But my question is, how can we call it a good, how can you say it's a good closing when she took many liberties? I'm being really nice. She
Yeah.
took a lot of liberties. There were many lies to be really.
Point out the lies. Point out the lies. Don't
Okay,
give
thank
lies.
you.
I want to know what the lies were.
Okay, number one, she said when she got to the drinks part, Mr. Drinks, it was never ever presented in the trial that anyone from YSL thought that he himself had something to do with the unaliving of Mac Miller and Mr. Ford. That was never presented. Mr. Drinks was presented as an associate of YFN or whatever, the other gang.
Okay.
He was just an associate. And then now she gets to the closing and she's talking about they're looking at Shell Kell's post thinking that, oh yeah, he did it. He's the one that unalived their friend. Wait a minute, that's stretching it. That is not what the evidence showed. It was too much. And another misrepresentation was the water drops on the windows, because that was a big deal. Him talking on the wiretap, talking about, I know it's gonna come back clean, because we're the people that believe that he may have done it, and I know you have your thoughts on that. There's still a mystery of, well, then how did they get rid of the gunpowder residue? How did they do that? Oh, she says, well, I submit to you, he did get it clean. Look at the water drops. And everybody knew that those were the water drops from the tent. Flat out lying. And if it was clean, where was the evidence? He had a ankle monitor.
Okay.
On
Brooklyn, you got
his
proof?
ankle. Y'all knew he went into the tent.
I hope you're not about to pee, Jerome. I just hope you're not about to do that, because I hear
I
some
know how
gross
to
and
mute. I
everything.
know how to mute. I know how to mute.
Okay. All right. Sorry, real thing. I just had to stop him right there.
Yeah, but no, that one was a big one to say. I submit to you, he did go and clean and gonna show the picture. Like, that was insulting to the jury.
Okay.
And even Max talked about it. And even you said, when she was talking about the Donovan Thomas incident, about them switching cars behind the gas station, even you said, okay, I'm not buying that. There were many things she presented, theories, stretching it, taking lots of liberties. And you were like, no, I'm not even buying that. It's too much. This is all I'm saying.
I think
you
go
get what
ahead.
I'm saying.
That's
It has
exactly what it
to
is.
throw the whole closing out. Why? No. Hear me out.
Yeah.
I was told this. I watch trials. I find it very interesting. The whole thing, how we have the right to due process, every individual. And I was told that if a witness is impeached, or if they flat out perjure themselves even. If there's any inconsistency in their testimony on that stand, the jury has the right to pretty much throw out their testimony. They're not a credible witness. You can't even really believe anything. Once there is any inconsistencies or flat out lies, even if they're just impeached, it's like, no, they're not credible. Don't even take any evidence or any information that they're presenting. So I feel that should apply to attorneys in their closing. I understand that they want to close up the gaps and, connect the dots, but she went too far. Where it's just, I respect her. I don't want to call her a liar. I don't want to say that.
You just did.
I don't.
Okay.
I know, right? I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So because she did, the
Okay.
same
So
rule
here's the thing, though.
applies. The same
Here's
rule
the thing.
applies.
Who's this? Her name, Simone's closing is not evidence. It's not.
Right.
That's a fact. It's not evidence. So to me,
Word.
that's why it's not a big deal.
Word.
At the very end, what she's supposed to do is really, tie their theory of the case together. Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
here's the thing.
I'm
With
not full, but
Simone,
I feel good. That wham was just good.
Sorry.
somebody feels good. Sorry, I'm childish.
I gotta go.
I'm
Go
childish.
ahead.
But okay, so let me reply. Let me reply. So the thing is with Simone's closing, the defense definitely could have objected, but they chose not to. I think the way that I'm looking at this, I think that Shard had a pre-written closing. That is just my sense of his presentation. I'd like to believe that was pre-written because I write most of my closings and most of my openings because I do tend to go off on tangents and I do memorize. I do memorize my openings and closings. So with Hylton, to me, she was just recapping the evidence and the testimony as best as she could recall. And the reason why, to me, this was a good closing is because she was able to, I mean, she did not do it perfectly, but what I understood from, and that's why when we're going on a few weeks back before closings, we're trying to determine who was going to do the closings. And I had mentioned that Simone is most likely going to do the closing because it was very clear that she knew the majority of the evidence that they presented. Even though it's not strong, she could pretty much pinpoint where, the different pieces were, right? So that's what I like about her closing. The ability for her memory to go back and forth in time, because you're going back 2015. So I liked that about her closing. But what I really appreciated about the closing was the progression, right? Where she starts off again. She starts off with the joke or whatever it was, the apology, the indirect apology, and then she, focuses a bit more on real evidence, and then she just goes batshit crazy. So that's what I like, the progression of a closing in that respect. And then again, the defense definitely had opportunities to object, and they should have done that. But overall, anything and everything that Simone said in closing is not evidence.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I realize that, but it does hold some weight. I know it's not evidence, but it's just like, I didn't like the stretching. Just, if you have a case, present your case based on the evidence. It was too much stretching. But
Yeah, to me, in all honesty, I think it's because she was talking from memory.
okay,
And because
that is you being very nice
that's
and
nice.
forgiving. Very forgiving. You are.
Yeah, I think it's because she was talking from memory. That's what I'll
Okay.
chalk it down to. Chalk it down to. All right. So as far as gunpowder residue, though, if you are wearing gloves or if you're wearing something else, you'll have no residue. There are ways around it. What time is it? Okay, it's 10:40. Man, Jerome has me up here until 11. But okay, so we'll have to, because I actually do have forensic medicine books here. Maybe we can get into that on.
You said forensic medicine?
Yeah, that's part of stuff that I actually had to study.
So that's a topic that we have to do separate.
Yeah, well,
That
we can
sounds
do
like
that.
something I don't know what that is. I didn't forgot. I had a good question and I forgot.
Yeah. What's your question?
I forgot.
Oh, what?
I forgot.
Okay, but
Because you
real
know what
thing.
you're doing. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
No, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what you're saying. But real thing. My explanation, though, when I'm telling you that I am chalking up Simone's, I guess misrepresentations to, just speaking on the fly. It's gonna go back to that whole notion that I've mentioned before. For people we like, we make excuses for them, and the people we don't like, we criticize them. So that's
Yes.
a perfect example here. Because I like Simone as much as I do, I'm willing to overlook some of her missteps, right? I'm
Yeah.
trying to find excuses for her. So, it's pretty much what it is. That's exactly what's happening here.
Yeah, no, thank you. Of course, we all do it. I definitely do it.
Yeah.
I get it. But okay.
Yeah.
If you say it was a good closing, I respect.
It was fantastic, real
It was
thing.
fantastic. Wow.
It was fantastic. No, I liked her energy. I liked her energy, and to me, it was a really good closing. In the face of defeat, considering that there was nothing left, and I just like people that persevere, and that's always been my problem with Doug. I don't like, and I'm saying this as somebody that used to be a prosecutor, because I've had moments where I'm like, I don't know about this case or whatever, but I have to do my job. And just because don't feel defeated. And I've had difficult cases as a public defender. And even though I could tell that the state has, an airtight case, I'm not going to be out there sulking. I'm going to give it my all. So that's what I like. Brooklyn said 10 out of 10. That's what I liked about the closing. I just like the fact that she did not give up. She still,
I agree.
She fought. So
much respect. She did. I feel like she did give her all. She did the absolute best that she could. She did it. She definitely did that.
Bouncing, just bouncing, rapping, cussing.
So,
great
she
closing.
Gave it.
Great closing.
Okay. All right. I give it to y'all.
Yeah.
You and Attorney Brooklyn. All right, you have it.
All right, co-counsel Brooklyn. Yes. I don't know that we've won her over, but she respects our opinion.
I do. Okay. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in and have a fantastic evening.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. All right. So the reason why I was trying to bring Daniel Penny up here, I wanted to, and I've not watched this video. Maybe it's the video that I'm looking for. But one of these recent news broadcasting or whatever, they talked about how he had introduced an expert. Okay. From my understanding, the expert got up there and said some crazy stuff, but it works. And it goes back to my point where I was saying that, or at least as far as YSL is concerned, the defendant obviously does not bear the burden of proof, but it does help. It does help to have an expert, because oftentimes lay folks are likely to put a lot of weight on an expert's testimony. I guess that's why they wanted Viverito to be, to be declared an expert. I don't even know. Like, that's a weird expert. But let's quickly watch this. Let's see if if that's
testimony in the trial of Daniel Penny. The Marine vet is accused in the chokehold death of Jordan Neely on a subway train last year. Alice Gaynor has been inside the courtroom from the beginning and has today's testimony from martial arts instructor.
I think this is it.
Prosecutors called Joseph Caballer, Daniel Penny's Marine Corps martial arts instructor, to the stand. During training, he said warnings are given not to hold a choke longer than 5 seconds. On cross, he told defense attorneys 5 seconds is not applicable to a real-world situation. Caballer told the jury applying a choke properly would render your aggressor unconscious. Then they're told to release pressure immediately. Otherwise, it could lead to injury or death. Caballer explained a blood choke is when pressure is applied to carotid arteries on both sides of the neck and should render someone unconscious between 8 to 13 seconds. An air choke is when pressure is applied directly to the trachea and would take 2 to 3 minutes for someone to lose consciousness.
This is not the witness that I was looking for. I was looking for the defendant's expert witness. It's somewhere here. It's probably somewhere on my phone, but my kid's not going to give my phone back, and she needs to go to bed.
Actually, that was perfect. That was
yeah.
perfect. What you just leave it alone, because you actually gave the exact thing that I'm pretty sure that the jurors watch, because he had bruises on his neck and all of that.
Yeah.
And all I can say about that is, if he's a Marine, he should know. It ain't like that's like you acting like you a damn alligator or something. Like you an animal, to where you wait till the heart stop. You know what I mean? That seems like what he did. It's like, he was waiting until he died. And it's like, you can let somebody go, and then the same person, you could save their life.
Yeah.
And bring them back. That's the part.
I know it's a difficult case. And then Brooklyn wants to know, do I practice my closings in a mock court setup? No. I write my stuff out. I read and reread and reread, and then eventually I'm satisfied. And usually I just read them out to myself. That's how I tend to go about it. So no mock court setting. At least I've not had to do it yet. So you never know. Things might be different. All right, so let's quickly listen to Jay-Z, and then let's recap, and then
there are more sex assault accusations.
Call it a night. But I have a brief opinion. This is so loud.
You need to talk. You need to just talk to the end. My opinion. My opinion. The videos is like wasting your time. Everybody likes to hear your voice, and they like your opinion on everything.
Okay.
And then you can make it play the video. But you already know your opinion is why everybody loves you.
Thank you, Coach Jerome.
Everybody loves you for your opinion.
All right, let me hear what his response was. I'm pretty sure he's going to deny whatever. Okay, here's my opinion. Let me give my opinion. I have 5 minutes, and then I need to go. Here's my opinion. Okay, so the allegations, obviously, not to be made light of, okay? The allegations are that this man was involved with a 13-year-old, which is absolutely gross. That's disgusting.
I don't believe that.
Those are the allegations, okay?
I know.
Whatever the allegations are, though, I have two opinions. The one is really me wondering. My wondering is, I'd like to know if they sued who's this? Jay-Z's record label, or if they just sued Jay-Z personally, okay? Because that's gonna make a difference. If the accusers are after Jay-Z's record label, he might be pressured into settling, okay? And the reason for that is because oftentimes corporations do not want to be entangled in, they don't want to be entangled in lawsuits, because it's always money, and oftentimes it's more expensive to go to trial. But I would think if Jay-Z and his legal team have common sense, they need to take the case to trial. And here's why. When Cassie first made her allegations against Diddy, and I mean, we ended up seeing the footage from the hotel, okay? So before we saw all that information, I think it was a year before, when she brought the allegations. I was like, okay, there's something here. And when I found out that Diddy settled, I was like, it's over for Diddy. Okay. And the reason why is because if claimants can see that a defendant is willing to settle, everybody and their mama is going to come out of the woodworks. Okay. So with Jay-Z, that is my only opinion, because obviously right now we don't know much about what's going on. But if he does settle this case, even if it's for an undisclosed amount of money or whatever, a lot more people are going to come out, and he's going to face a lot more. He's going to face a number of lawsuits. That is my opinion. What is your opinion, Jerome? I need to go in a bit though.
Yeah, it's a lot of civil. I agree. It's going to be a lot of civil lawsuits. But
Yeah.
my question is, if you're a guy like him, that I think the only thing that he has on his plate is his son. His son looks just like him. He got to take that off. And if he got any more out there, out in the street, like if I was Jay-Z, I'm pretty sure a lot of people will come behind me and be like, but yeah, I think that one son, he need to go ahead and clean that up, and and I don't know, he should have cleaned that up a long time ago. He should have cleaned that up, because now he's not official. You lie,
Yeah.
we give you a chance. If you lie twice,
Yeah.
and then you lie 3 times, and you
Three
keep sweeping
times.
under the rugs. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, but here's the thing as well that we have to consider. The entertainment industry was very different back in the day. Okay.
Back in the day, yeah, I know.
Back in the day, the entertainment industry was very different. And
Very.
typically, I guess we do tend to live for the moment. We never, a lot of us do not consider the implications of our actions or perceived actions down the line, because we live in the moment. But I mean, things were wild. Things were chaotic back in the day.
SO is going deep.
No, things were chaotic back in the day. A lot of what is probably frowned upon now was acceptable back in the day. So
Right.
that's what it's going to come down to. But my opinion in this very moment is that if this man decides, if he chooses to settle, a lot more is going to, folks are going to come after him. Okay, that's
yeah, it's going to be civil. He's going to have civil after civil after civil after civil after civil.
Yeah. Yeah, folks are going to come after him. So Brooklyn says he's fighting to unseal the allegations. Also, he is the best attorney in the United States, Alex Spiro. I don't know, like claiming somebody is the best attorney is like claiming somebody is the most prettiest woman in the entire world. I know once upon a time they used to maintain a list, and it was a woman. I'm not going to butcher her name because I believe she's Indian. I just don't know that a single person can be classified or characterized to be a brilliant attorney. Like I'm gonna have to look at this kid. I'm gonna have to look at this person, Brooklyn, because you keep talking about how brilliant he is. So I guess we're gonna have to take a deep dive. I don't know, on Christmas Day, on the 25th or something. I don't know what you guys do on religious holidays, but I'll have to take a deeper dive at him. Or let me ask you this: why do you think why do you think Alex is the best attorney in all of America? I'd like to know that, because I don't know. For me, they're good attorneys, they're great attorneys, but to say that somebody is the best, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So let me know. Let me know why you're saying this guy is the best. And let me just look him up. Where are we? What screen am I sharing? Hold on. I'm gonna have to do it on the side. Alex. Let's see. How old is this person? 1982, 1983. He's about.
He at the Alex Ball, okay?
I don't even think this man has enough life experience to be classified the best. He's like 41 years old. What has he argued or done?
Sounds like you. Sounds like something you can do.
What is that? 41? No, I'm just saying, like, to me, to be considered the best, you have to have accomplished a lot. You should have, and it's not just money, right? I don't think um I don't think the Baldwin case is sufficient to claim that somebody is the best. But let's quickly look at his Wikipedia. Let's look at his Wikipedia with Wikipedia. And that's my thing. To me, I think in order for an attorney to be classified, I'm not even going to say the best, one of the best, you're going to have to. Here's the thing. I need to go in like a bit. Oh my goodness, Jerome has me here. It's 11:02. I need to iron my clothes.
Yeah.
I'm messing with you. I'm going to make this one point and then we're going to go. Okay, so Olbag says he has. Okay, it's actually a question. Does Alex have any trials online? The Baldwin case, that is a technicality. Okay, that is not a show of true trial skills, right? Because if I remember correctly, the prosecution suppressed evidence in that case that they should have turned over, and they had not turned it over, and that's how the case resolved. Okay, but my thing, if we're going to think about attorneys that were brilliant, uh, I'm one of those people, regardless of what somebody's politics may be. I absolutely, as far as Hillary Clinton is concerned, as far as her legal skills, the one that stands out to me was her role in the Watergate. I think it was the Watergate scandal. I thought she was brilliant in that regard because she had very limited trial experience or real life experience, but she was able. She worked on that team, but then again, she worked with other folks. But if we are going to talk about one of the best attorneys, it has to be somebody that has actually done more than win a case. What I mean by that, it has to be an attorney that has advocated for a change as far as social life is concerned, right? If I'm going to think of a brilliant attorney, I'm going to think of somebody such as Thurgood Marshall, because he made a difference, right?
Right.
So that's why when people claim somebody's the best, just a 41-year-old, let me see, what did this person do? Okay, born in New York, grew up in Boston, eldest of four, blah, blah, blah. Filed a lawsuit against the University of Oregon, something about sexually assaulting a freshman, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so he represented Aaron Hernandez.
Right.
He was initially acquitted, and then the murder conviction was reinstated. He won a lawsuit against New York City, $4 million. I'm not seeing much here. I'm not seeing enough that would lead me to believe that he's the best attorney in all of America. For me to see that, I need to, you need to, be in the ranks of Thurgood Marshall. That's, to me, that's the
Yeah, nobody. That's like Supreme Court. It's like
right.
people on the Supreme Court, and you would look at them and you probably wouldn't even hire them.
Oh, that is so funny. Oh, that is so funny. Yeah, but I just think in order to, because here's the thing, what we do as attorneys is easy. What I mean by that is because what a lot of us do, we are never recreating the wheel. Okay, there's
Mm,
there's a practice that's already set up. That's why we have the law of evidence, we have
mm,
criminal procedure, we have
right.
stare decisis, we have precedent. We are following what already exists. To me, doing that, because I'm a really good trial attorney, like I'm a good cross examiner. I can even brag and say, as a public defender, I won every case that I took to trial. But the only reason I won every case I took to trial is because I did not take many cases to trial. Okay. So somebody might look at my statistics and say, oh, she's one of the best public defenders, but that is misleading. To me, in order to really be considered the best, you should have done something beyond just applying the law. But based on this guy's, what I'm looking at his resume here, I don't see anything where I mean, he has represented a lot of high profile folks, but to me, that's not enough to say that he's the best attorney. I don't see any, just based on what I'm seeing on Wikipedia, I'm not seeing a standout case where this guy has done more than apply the law. To be considered the best, just my opinion, you should at least change the status quo. You should change. You just need to change something. You need to do something. I guess the folks that came up with the rules of evidence, I'd consider them to be the best because they actually had to think about it, implement it, and then we're still using the same
Right.
rules to this day. I would
Exactly.
think somebody like, what's his name? There was what's the guy's name? Hold on. What's the guy's name? It's a Supreme Court case. I would think, I know, Brooklyn, you are in New York. A brilliant, I don't remember the attorney's case, but in New York, there used to be a time, oh man, I just had it. Washington, what's that lady's name? Washington, it's a case. Washington, her last name is Washington. First name begins with a letter S. It's a New York decision that came out, it's 2 or 3 years ago. Hold on, let me think. Washington, it's probably going to be order of protection, New York. I think it was in the Bronx, New York State. I think the case was in the Bronx. What is the name? New York State. It was orders of protection. I think it was orders of protection. Removal from home. Yeah, they're giving me, I don't want the state of Washington. Let me say criminal defendant. Criminal defendant. I know her last name was Washington. I just don't remember. Her. I know it was SH something. Hold on, I'm trying to find this so I can make my order of protection. Because this woman was removed from, man, New York State. Let me say New York State removal from home order of protection standard.
What did she do?
Let me find it. Hopefully I can find it. This was a really good case. What happened was this woman was involved in a DV situation, right? And typically how it works in domestic violence cases is that sometimes the aggressor typically if the alleged victim in a case files a complaint, then the aggressor is removed from their home, even if they own the home. Okay, that had been the standard for a very long time
A very long time.
until the case came along. Because previously, here's what used to happen: you have A and B. They get in some type of domestic dispute and they live together, right? So let's say the defendant, right? There have been situations where defendants would be removed from their homes, and the alleged victim would take over, right? The alleged victim would be able to remain in the property even though it's not their home, it's not their apartment or whatever. But what I liked about that case, though, it's because it changed the standard for orders of protection. So it gave defendants a right, before they could be removed from their homes, they were entitled to a hearing. And that's what I liked about that, the case. So that's what I'm saying. And that was a case, I believe that was a collaboration between I'm pretty sure that was Darcel, so that must have been the Bronx. I think this was a collaboration between legal aid and another office. It was two offices that worked on it. But that's just me saying that in order for an attorney to be considered one of the best, I think you actually have to change something. You have to change the status quo and not just, apply the law or get, what is this? Apply the law, secure a lot of money for a claimant, something along those lines. But that's just me, challenging Brooklyn a little bit there. Anyways, you guys, I absolutely need to go. I need to go. This is much later than I had planned on being here, and I need to iron my clothes. All right.
Yeah, I was gonna get to you on possession of where you're at because I was listening to you as a lawyer. If you actually in possession and you're chilling, how does that work? Because I heard everything but
What do you
that.
mean possession and chilling? What are you talking about, Jerome?
We'll talk about that next time.
All
It's
right.
just a question for a lawyer. You know what I mean? Because I'm like I can get in. I get in. Like, yo, even if I know I'm good, I'm gonna ask every question to
I
be
don't know.
like,
It sounds like
I'm gonna ask
never
everything.
mind. I'll leave it at that. I was gonna say something. All right, all right, all right. Shout out to Jerome though. Jerome was out
Shout
here
out to
hanging out with
Jerome,
me.
Ali, Jasmine, everything.
Yeah, shout out to Allie, Jasmine,
FFS.
Brooklyn, FFS. We have Real Thing was up here as well, co-counsel. Shout out to
Word, real
Sheila.
thing.
Sheila, I'm gonna check this out. I'm gonna go look for Lizard Walk while I iron these clothes right now. I'm gonna be out here bopping. Big shout out to ADA Hylton and Habab. Let's see. Shout out to Diggy. Shout out to Allie. Shout out to Jasmine.
Word.
Shout out to the replay crew. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's about it. And shout out to myself. All right. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow. I don't know. I think tomorrow let's do 10. No, not 10. What am I saying? Let's do 9 p.m. again because that gives us enough time. I am pretty much ready to move on from YSL. I don't know if there's anything else left apart from us mapping out mapping out the what is it? Oh, never mind. I think it was Brooklyn or was it Obag? Somebody mentioned that what is this, December 17th, they would appear before the court or something. I mean, we'll look into it. All right, good night, folks. Let's see. I'm just trying to see here. What are we recapping? I've not really seen any interesting trials so far. There's that one out of Mississippi, but I'm out of the loop. The audio's awful. I can barely hear what they're saying. I've not seen what's her name, Valerio Evers, apparently representing herself. I don't agree with it, but that's I'm not her attorney. So what else? I don't know. Are there any other trials that are going on? Otherwise, we are probably in a good posture to do some background work on the Brian Koberger case so that when the case in fact goes to trial, we are all caught up. And then we're definitely going to look at Alex Spiro because Brooklyn likes him so much. We can look at Alex Spiro, take a look at some of his cases, maybe what else? Yeah, that's about it. Closing arguments, Jerome?
No, I'm saying whatever we do, we're gonna have fun. So
For sure. For sure. We are going to have
we're gonna always have fun. Always have fun. The only thing I gotta say is we gotta get right on the time, and you gotta let me know if Jasmine is mad at me.
I don't know. Jasmine had a cold the other day, or at least or I think it was a headache.
I don't
So,
know.
you
So
know,
we could.
what's that? I don't know. Something happened to your audio. I'm not sticking around, Jerome. This is much later than I'm supposed to be getting to business. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time is a good time. We could do 9:30 though. I'm gonna post the time. Yeah. I'll. I guess I will schedule it in advance. All right, folks. Too much talking. Too much rambling. I am out.